Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the worst fucking podcast you've ever heard. Both mics.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Both Mics as I struggle to pull our video up. There I am. There we are. Welcome to Both Mics, everybody.
Both Mics is a show about nothing and everything. That over there is Mike Sofka.
And that over there is Mike Taylor. And together we are Both Mics. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, welcome, guys. Show number 106. 106.
You would think we'd have our crap together by now.
Right. You know, or at least some fast internet. Yeah. You can find us anywhere a podcast can be heard.
Yes, we're on Podchaser now. We might be
going to
YouTube. We might be going to a few new platforms here real soon, because I'm hearing some things about. We might even be doing something different live here. We might go live all over everywhere at one time, because right now you can only catch us live on Twitch. I may be changing that because I heard some things about Twitch that didn't make me very happy recently. Something about them researching your accountability on other social media platforms, then doing away with you on their platform because they didn't like what you said or you did on another platform. So I'm sure I'm flirting with disaster by mentioning that when we're on Twitch, but it is what it is.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Who knows? You know, everybody has their rules and regulations, and they're up here, but reality is usually down here.
Yeah, there's some shit shows.
You ever have a job and you read your freaking job description like after you started working there,
and wonder why I'm not doing these things, why I'm doing these other things?
Yeah, right. I'm like, okay, when was I supposed to be doing this?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about something on a previous show. We talked about Samsung working with iFixIt to let you work on your phone, to do self-repair. Because right now you do self-repair on phones like an Apple phone or whatever. That's it. You're screwed. It's like, don't open the back of the TV. You're going to lose your warranty. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, Google is now joining in with Samsung to allow self-repair with iFixIt. This is according to Verge.com. Google has become the latest manufacturer to partner with DIY repair specialist iFixIt to offer spare parts for its devices. It's a deal that would make it far easier for the average customer to get parts to repair their own Pixel smartphone if it breaks. Parts like batteries, displays, and cameras will be available to purchase in the US, Canada, Australia, and UK, and other European countries where the phones are sold. Parts will be available to purchase later this year, according to Google. Think it's a bad idea or a good idea?
It's a good idea. You know, it's probably going to be less expensive, and they probably plan on people trying to repair their phone and screwing it up, and then they have to bring it to Google or they have to bring it to Samsung to get it repaired.
What if the problem with your phone is part of the planned obsolescence where, I refuse. I still got an S8, dude. I am on an S8. That's what I'm on.
I don't know. Mine is slowly dying. You know, the battery's not 100% like it used to be. The beginning of the show at 7:00, I started at like 89%. I'm down to 59%, and the only thing I'm running on here is both mics was Twitch, and I had Facebook open. But yeah, if you keep your apps closed, you know how to close out your apps, right?
Yeah, I try.
Yeah, as long as you keep your apps closed,
But
I'm not.
There's some apps that suck a lot of energy out of your phone. Facebook is one of them. I mean, they will suck the hell out of it.
There is a setting that like it won't run in the background. You know, like if you close out a app, if you have the wrong permission on it, it'll keep running in the background.
Yeah.
But if you have it, there's a setting only when in use, keep open only when in use.
Here's something I found interesting though. Go ahead. Sorry.
So my kids, their school, they have a device outside the building that you press a button, you press your code, and you press enter, and the door opens or the door unlocks, and you can open it. A couple weeks ago, they said, hey, we're getting a new security system for the front door. You have to download this app. Okay, download the app, and the app says, you must keep this app open at all times. By keeping an app open at all times, it's going to suck the battery out of your damn phone. I use it once a day to drop off the kids. Sometimes twice a day to pick up the kids. And I need to be like going into the settings every day and turn this thing off. No. So I'm like, hey guys, I told them your app wants us to keep it open all the time. This isn't going to work. And will your old system still be working? They're like, yeah, you can use the old system until we disassemble it or until we turn it off. I'm like, oh, great.
Well,
so yeah.
Now I need my phone. This is what I find interesting here. Samsung's equivalent partnership with iFixIt will, at launch, only cover select devices dating back to 2020. That would be the Galaxy S20. Are you fucking kidding me? Though it says it plans to expand the program over time. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, expanding the program. Did it mean like in 2023 they'll expand it by one more year?
Yeah,
they'll keep it at 2020 to 2023. So as time goes on, it does expand, but it expands forward, not backwards.
Phones are like $1,100, dude. And if I bought an S20 and I need repair already, I'm not fixing it myself, dude. I'm taking it back to where I got it and going, yo, it's a piece of shit. Hook me up. It shouldn't. That shouldn't be the case, dude. In 2 years.
Yeah.
Now I was going through a phone every 18 months. That was a fact. I was going through because I was beating the shit out of it and I was using it for 20 hours during the day. That I ran a business through it basically. So it would happen in every 8. So I would just buy and I would tell them. I would tell the service providers, when are you going to provide? This is back in 04 or so. When you're going to provide, or 02 even. When you're going to provide unlimited service? When you're going to provide unlimited messaging? And then when data became big after 07, 08, when you're going to, give me unlimited data? And they would all laugh. Ha 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 ha! That would never happen. That will never happen. Ha ha! I was like, you ought to make the phone like a lease. Like, I'll just pay X amount of dollars. And when you come out with a new phone, I can trade up, and it's not going to cost me out of pocket, basically. Ha, ha, ha. That will never happen. Well, it does happen. It happens every day. You got to pay for it, but it does happen now.
Yep.
Here's my thing. If I'm paying $1,100 for a phone, in 2 years, that son of a bitch better still work.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I take care of my phones. I have an OtterBox. Every time when I left BlackBerry and went to Samsung phones in 2013, 2012, one of those years. I've had 4 phones in 10 years. I've had an OtterBox on every one of them. I've never had a cracked screen until this phone, and it has a very small crack at about 9 o'clock on the screen, and you can barely tell it's there.
Well, one of the things I don't like about this phone here, and this is a refurbished one they sent me. I thought I'd get the automatic upgrade because I have the insurance. And I paid the extra for that.
Right.
These phones don't take flight very well. Like, if you throw it across the room, it doesn't like that.
Yeah, it's a shame. My daughter had a phone that used to do that all the time.
Yeah, well, if you pay $1,100 for something, you probably shouldn't be throwing it. I get it. But anyway.
Yeah, she had a bad habit. We've actually had to send her our old phones because of her activities with flight in phones. And I actually have, I think this is a Note 9 or Galaxy Note 9. I think I have my 8 or 7 in the closet. So if anybody needs a Galaxy Note 7 from 5 years ago, you're welcome to it. It comes with an OtterBox.
Well, I like what Google's looking at doing here, because with their Pixel phones, they're saying Pixel spare parts will be sold individually as well as in fixed kits. And a fixed kit will come with the tools to carry out the necessary repairs. Because I could just see somebody there with a hammer and a screwdriver trying to pry it open,
Pair of channel locks, vice grips.
So Google already has a partnership with a number of professional repair shops. There are also trade-in and recycling programs available when you no longer want to keep your device. So Overall, I think this is a good thing because you're a repair it yourself guy, right? You're a do it yourself
Yeah.
guy.
Yep.
You work on cars and all that stuff, right?
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
Cars, mowers, things, stuff, places, houses.
Well, Google's in the news again here because
Uh-oh.
they're doing something here. They're allowing you to use multi-search. This is something new. This is according to TechCrunch.com. Google announced that it's rolling out multi-search feature that allows users to search using text and images at the same time via Google Lens, the company's
cool.
image recognition technology. Google first teased the functionality last September at its Search On event and said it would be launching the feature in coming months after testing and evaluation. Starting today, which was yesterday, the new multi-search functionality is available as a beta feature in English in the United States.
Wow.
So there you go. You could take a picture of something with your phone and you can find it. You can search via the image.
Here's the thing. You had your different things, your missed opportunities, take a shift, leave a shift.
Yes.
And things like that. I've had different inventions I've come up with in my mind over decades, and of course have no outlet to come up with a way to get it into production.
Well, see, that's the difference between you, me, and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos
Right.
and shit. They have the ability to do that.
Now, here's the thing. Searching by image is something I came up with in 2005. You ever have a picture or something, you're like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
And you just can't figure it out. Or you pick something up off the ground and you're like, what is this?
I usually have those moments after using the restroom.
Well, yeah. Not everything is corn. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
So, yeah, I actually came up to my son and my nephew and said, hey, guys, you guys are computer guys. You need to figure this out. To be able to search an image or search a picture of something and figure out what in the world it is, that would be perfect.
Well,
And then,
I don't
a couple years later,
yeah, I
people
don't want to
actually came up
confuse
with it.
this because Google years ago, I can remember back in 10 or so, they had something called Google Goggles. Do you remember that? Where
Google Goggles.
it was designed to identify objects. It wasn't necessarily designed like this one looks like it's designed, where you can take a picture of it and search the internet for that item. It won't just be an answer box. It'll tell you where to get it and how much it is.
Cool. Yeah, but I know Google's had that image search for a while now. Now, here's the thing. A couple of years ago, I actually went on, I think last year or the year before, I went online to the U.S. Patent Service to look for my inventions. And the two of the three are actually already being patented.
All right, so what about the third one?
The third one is different. It's
All
not
right.
on there, but it's not a huge thing. But actually, it has to do with police. So maybe I can get an in with a certain police department.
There you go. There you go. I think you should do it.
All right. What those other items were, I'll reveal them now.
Ah.
You hit your brakes. What happens? Your car slows down, obviously.
Hopefully. Yes.
And then lights go on in the back.
Yes.
If you tap your brakes,
Yes.
those lights go on. If you slam on your brakes, those same lights go on.
Right.
How can I be behind you and tell you which one you're doing? Right? So if you hit your brakes, red lights come on. If you slam on your brakes, purple lights come on. And that tells me that you're slowing down extremely fast. I need to get my shit together and stop.
Well, they have a mechanism out because we used to sell it on vehicles when I was in the auto business. It's a flashing light. When you step on your brake, it's scientifically proven that most people will respond quicker to a flashing red light. So it'll flash 5 times, and then on the 5th time, it'll stay solid. So that's to alert you. That's that top window, that light like on your trunk area or whatever, the third light.
The third light.
Yeah.
That came out in 1987.
There you
It
go.
became mandatory. So invention I thought of, which is patented, and to a degree, you know of a device that's like it. Now, baby car seats, kids in the back seat being left in there in the summertime and dying. Why is there no, there's an indicator that tells the car whether the seatbelt's on or off, right? So that's one thing for seatbelts, but integrate a baby seat in the same thing. You leave the car with that baby seat intact, buckled up. Why doesn't an alarm go off?
I think the alarm should go off before you get in a car with the kids. I mean, if you can't remember your kid, and I know I forget stuff. I do. But I can honestly tell you, dude, having 4 kids, I've never left one in a car. I don't see how that's humanly possible. I mean, I see it's possible, but I don't understand that.
Right. And my wife says the same thing. I don't see how people could do that. If you're off your routine and you have a specific routine that you do, boom, that's how. You know?
Or maybe you're at the bar and the kid was inconvenient for you at noontime, so you're at the bar plowing some shots back, and that kid's just inconvenient, so he's just going to sit in the car for a while with the windows up.
Like we did when we were little. We're still here.
Hey, my sister and I were driving cars when we were 5, sitting in the car. You'd sit at the steering wheel and you'd pretend like you're driving. Well, one time my sister did that, and she kicked the car out of gear when you could do that without the key being in, and the car rolled into another car in the parking lot. And they announced the car in the store, and my mom came out, and but the guy had put the car back in park, and it was this big thing like, oh, no big deal, there's just a little dent, no big deal. That's how it used to be back in the day.
Right.
Now everybody's out grabbing their neck and their back, talking about, I'm going to sue you, don't go nowhere, I'm taking pictures.
You're on film. Yeah. I can't even count how many times my mother has taken us to doctor's appointments that she's had to go to and left us in the car,
Yeah, but the windows probably weren't up all the way, and it wasn't 90 in Florida with 100% humidity.
It'd be like New York City, White Plains, things like that. Yeah, no big deal.
Nowadays, you can't do that at all. You can't even leave your keys in the car. You know what I mean? You can't do anything. You can't even take your keys in with you to the Quick Trip or the Circle K or whatever. Take your keys with you and leave your windows down. You can't even do that. Shit will be gone from your car, or your car will be gone.
Your kids will be gone. There was a time I had a Hyundai, and up in New York, and I worked for Frito-Lay at the time. And I used to listen to Howard Stern on the way to work.
Was that the green one?
No.
Okay.
Now, you remember the green one?
Yeah. It got hit by the gate at Disney.
Yes. Yes. Because I didn't want to stop and swipe my card. I wanted to get in there before the next guy came. Yep.
So go ahead. Your Hyundai in New York.
Yeah. This was a white one. And I drove about an hour to get from Orange County down to Westchester, and my first stop was a Sam's Club, and I'd pull in there about 6 o'clock or so, listening to Howard Stern. Turned the car off, and I'm still listening until the next commercial. Stuff he talked about, who knows? It must have been interesting, I guess. So get out of the car, walk over to Sam's Club, buzz the buzzer, go inside. First thing I do is I walk up front, I go to the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom, and I could see straight back down into the receiving area, out the door to where my car should have been parked.
Uh-oh.
And my car's not parked there, but my buddy Joe, his Tasty Cake truck is parked there.
Nice.
Or no, Arnold Bread. One of those guys. One of those things. But he was a bread vendor of some sort. And his truck was parked where my car was, and they're calling me back. Hey, Mike, come here. I'm like, oh, great. Joe hit my car, and my buddy hit my car, and this is not going to be cool. So I go back there, and I keep walking. They're like, yeah, your car rolled away and rolled underneath that tractor trailer.
Oh, shit.
Like, you got to be kidding me. And Joe was parked where I was parked, and it was a flat area, and then it kind of rolled downhill a little bit into like where the bays were for the tractor trailers to unload. So my car... I had it turned off. I had the key in my hand, but the car was in drive.
Wow, that's crazy. It won't let you do that nowadays.
Well, this was back in 92, 93.
Yeah.
You would think with an automatic transmission car that it wouldn't let it do it then. That was modern times.
Yeah.
You had air conditioning in that car.
Crazy.
Yeah. So the car was on such a flat ground that it didn't roll under the truck until I got inside the building.
Wow.
So it must have rolled back slowly and rolled underneath. And it busted out the back windows and the very back window. So 3 windows were busted out. And, of course, it was a tempered glass, so it was little shards of glass flying all over the car while I was driving all over Westchester. I got pulled over, and the cop's like, "What are you doing driving this?" I'm like, "It just happened." So, yeah.
Oh, I thought he was saying because it was a Hyundai.
Well, that too. But,
hey, I used to sell them
those
things.
I know. That's why I'm mentioning it to you. But, yeah, a 92 Hyundai XL.
Nice.
Cheap as can be. And, yeah. The car, I was able to take the key out of the ignition, go inside, and while the car was in drive, and it just rolled back under a tractor trailer.
Nice. I had a similar experience when I was in high school. I went out to a movie or something with the girl I was seeing in school or something, and I came out to go to my car and go somewhere else. It was my truck. It was a little Toyota truck that I had, and it was gone. And I was like standing there looking around, and the lady at the ticket booth said, "Are you looking for a blue truck?" And I'm like, "Holy shit, yes." And she goes, "Here, I have this note for you." And I'm like, "What?" And I open up the note, and it says "FU" on it. It was from one of my friends, and he knew I had a Heideke on the truck. And he came up to the mall by the movie theater, and he saw my truck, so he went and got the key, moved the truck, and he came around the corner laughing and shit. It was pretty funny, but... All right, I'm going to put the brakes on the show. I like to do this every once in a while. I like to wheel out the sad puppy that just got run over or something to really, you'll hear a lot of clicking, people tuning out and shit. But, okay, I'm going to go right forward here. This is a couple from Indiana. Have you heard about these folks?
No.
See that RV in the top right-hand corner of the picture?
Yes.
Okay.
That's like a 24-footer.
Yes. This is according to people.com. Woman who went missing with husband during RV trip reveals what happened and how she survived. Beverly Baker, 69, was released from the hospital in Reno on Wednesday and told relatives that both their RV and SUV got stuck after they followed bad GPS directions. Her husband, Ron, did not survive the ordeal. She was found alive in the Nevada mountains after going missing for over a week with her husband. Beverly Barker and her husband Ron disappeared last week. The RV was last seen in Nevada at a gas station. She was found Tuesday and sent to a Reno hospital, but sadly her husband died. He was 70. What had happened was their GPS told them to go this way, so they went that way. And they saw other vehicles, and they thought that they were fine. They thought there were other campers and stuff, and they were towing a Kia SUV behind them.
Okay.
Apparently, they got lost on March 27th, and their RV got stuck that night. The next morning, Beverly and Ron, who's 72, got into the Kia SUV they had been towing to go and look for help. They didn't think about bringing food or water or blankets. They just made this route. Well, about 2 miles from the RV, the SUV got stuck again. Now, these are elderly people. This lady uses a walker to get around. Well, it was very cold where they were at the time. She actually, to help them survive, she was getting a backpack or a satchel of some sort, going out and walking several hundred feet without her walker or wheelchair to get snow for them to bring back so they'd have something to drink. As the days and nights passed, Ronnie told her he was dying, and she said, "I know." And they knew it was dehydration. So this guy literally died of dehydration. It's crazy.
Wow.
This is a guy who spent 26 years in the Air Force, a veteran of our country, and this has happened. It's a sad situation. So anyway, they got a GoFundMe and all that stuff out there. After a search at a motorhome, it was determined there was no foul play, because we've seen that situation with foul play. And they've been able to locate and follow the tire tracks from the couple's car. which they found alongside the couple about 2 miles away. So, sad situation. That goes to show you, no matter if you're out and about, bring bottled water with you or something. I mean, that maybe that wouldn't have got them 6 days or whatever, but still.
Yeah. Well, you would think they would have some kind of supplies in the RV.
Well, that's what they did. They had supplies in the RV, but they took the car and they went. They were like, well, that's stuck, and they didn't bring anything with them.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they did that. You're out in the middle of nowhere, a remote area. It's going to take several hours for rescue people to even get to you if they know where you are.
Right? That's the thing. No one knows where they are.
Well, I would think if they had a GPS, they would have had... I mean, maybe... Is there no cell phone service there? Did they not have cell phones?
It's very possible.
There are older people who, you know, I don't consort with the robot race. You know, they don't want phones.
But if they do have cell phones and they're not plugged in, so say you start off at like 70% juice and you don't need it for a couple hours, boom, your cell phone is out of luck with spotty service, probably, more than likely. If they're someplace where no one else is around, yeah. Now here's the thing with GPS. We went to the Clay County Fair last weekend.
Yeah, I saw pictures. Look
a little what's hot in Florida type of thing going. Yeah. Just north of just west of where we are in St. Augustine, and it's literally a 19-mile drive. Supposed to take 25 minutes to get there. Well, with GPS, it took us about 2 hours to get there. Saturday was such a rain out that everybody went on Sunday. So it was literally like a mile and a half back up. So the GPS was taking us on back roads to get us past most of the traffic. And you could tell a lot of people were using GPS to get past the traffic. And we're going down like neighborhood roads, cutting through like subdivisions. You know, you can tell these roads aren't driven by anybody but the people who live there. But now, with the advent of GPS, these are viable routes that people are being taken on to get shortcuts to, at least in this case, the Clay County Fairgrounds. And we took two. There was a stretch of probably a half a mile that we could have stayed on the road and it would have taken us directly to the Clay County Fairgrounds. But GPS was saying, make a right turn here. Go down, go over, come back a little bit, keep going down this way, then take this dirt road. Down this dirt road. Dude, seriously, get on this dirt road and get back on County Road 16 to avoid a good chunk of the traffic to go to the Clay County Fairgrounds. If I wasn't a person that could calm myself down, the anxiety level would have been pegged at 10 trying to get to the Clay County Fair.
I bet.
You know, deep breath. But yeah, it was open till 11 o'clock. And granted, it was Sunday. We didn't plan on staying until 11 o'clock. But, I figured it doesn't matter what time we get there.
Right.
We need to go there, just have some fun. The kids had a great time. They had comedians there. They had magicians there. They had a pirate there. All kinds of stuff for the kids. They love the animals. We actually had to go back and visit the animals the second time.
Do you know what are you familiar with the pirate alphabet?
The pirate alphabet?
Yes. The first letter
Does it start with
R? All right, never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, bad.
Yeah.
I heard you're getting a bunny soon, though. A rabbit.
Oh, my God. Where did you hear this?
Facebook, dude.
Okay. Oh, God. No, we're not. Attention. We are not getting a bunny.
Get two of them. Maybe they'll breed. Oh, man. All right. So I want you to... here's a guy holding up pictures of two people here, okay? Right. What do you think these Einsteins did, these two people in this picture?
Stole a car.
No. These two Alabama people are charged with a takeover of a Florida beach town.
Okay.
Here's cops Oh yeah,
What
here's a picture of
constitutes
cops.
taking over a beach town?
Yes, this is.
If you go to the mayor's office and sit in his chair, does that mean you took over the town?
I don't know. I was confused by that, so I read the article. This is according to abcnews.go.com. 2 Alabama men are accused of inciting or encouraging a riot after authorities said messages were spread online encouraging the spring break takeover of a Florida beach town. More than 160 people were arrested, about 75 illegal guns were confiscated, and several businesses closed during a wild weekend late last month in Panama City Beach. Social media influencers and others promoted Panamaniac on Facebook and other social platforms. Demarion Taekwon Cooper and Rashad Boyce Clasper were arrested at their homes in the Alabama cities of Troy and Wetumpka. Law enforcement determined Cooper and Glasper played a substantial role in promoting and influencing their followers to create this disorder with a propensity for violence. More arrests are expected. No takeover. Now, they're saying takeover events are planned later this month in Destin, Florida, and they're circulating on social media already. Sheriff's officials in Walton, Okaloosa County said they won't tolerate lawlessness during upcoming weekends in the part of Florida Panhandle.
The Purge.
There you go. I think it's pretty funny. This is like that thing with the Area 51 thing. All of a sudden, 1 million people said they were going. They can't stop us all.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway.
How many, like a dozen people showed up?
All right, I'm going to put up another picture of some Einsteins. What do you think these two Einsteins did?
Keg stands.
No, but these are teenagers. They're two male teenagers here. They're from Bellevue, Florida. You know where that is? It's just outside Ocala. 16-year-old killed when teens wearing body armor take turns shooting each other in Florida. So the one who's not pictured is dead.
I would imagine.
A 16-year-old boy was killed, this is according to clickorlando.com, when he and another teen took turns shooting at each other while wearing a form of body armor. The department said Joshua Vining and Colton Whitler, both 17, were arrested Thursday in connection with the fatal shooting of Christopher Leroy Broad Jr. Police said officers responded to the shooting around 7 p.m. Sunday at the 10400 block of Southeast 52nd Court, where they found the victim shot inside a residence. The department said the boy was taken to the hospital where he later died.
Wow.
This is something like you'd see on Jackass or something like that, right?
Exactly.
Here, put on this vest. Let's see if it works.
Right? So they're going to get charged with probably something like, criminal mischief or illegal discharging of a gun. I can't see them. Well, I guess you could charge them with murder. It was, second degree. It's not intentional, but it's premeditated.
This is crazy.
But it wasn't.
I'm surprised this other person's not getting charged. Not yet. I'd be surprised if they don't. According to the two teens' arrest affidavits, an 18-year-old was with the group. The 18-year-old is identified as Evan Vowell. He recorded the shooting on his cell phone and turned over the footage to be used as evidence. Broad Whitler and at least one other juvenile had a 9mm gun in a vest. And they were asking, had anyone ever seen anyone get shot with a bulletproof vest on? In the video, Broad is allegedly seen firing a single shot at Vining, who was wearing the vest, as Whitler stood by. After Broad and Vining switched roles, Vining shot Broad in the vest once. Broad nodded, and Vining then shot Broad 4 more times.
Jeez.
Christ, dude.
Wow.
Wow. I don't mean to laugh.
Well, you're laughing at the stupidity of it.
I mean, when you were a kid, you did stupid shit, right?
Daily.
Did the thought ever cross your mind, put on a vest and shoot somebody? I mean,
no. We used to take.
This is all part of the the video game thing. What's that game where you can Grand Theft Auto, where you can drive a car, get out, grab a hooker's purse, punch her in the face, you carjack somebody, take a gun, you know, and this is what this is.
Yep. Yeah, that's ridiculous. We used to take, like, my dad had guns in the house, but he never had bullets that matched the guns that he had. So, like, my dad would have, like, spare 22 bullets running around, and we used to take those bullets and throw them in the fire.
Nice.
You know, make a fire in the backyard and put the bullets in the fire. Yeah.
So what does a 22 do in a fire? Does it shoot out?
I guess it never shot me or my friends, so I guess we're good. Yeah.
All right. Do you remember this story a little ways back? We covered it here. That's Lady Gaga up on twitch.tv/bothmics.
Oh, Lord.
She's carrying one of her dogs, one of her little pug dogs or whatever they are there.
Yeah.
Well, if you remember this story from a while ago, Lady Gaga's dog walker was shot. Okay? So there's the dog walker on the left. There's the alleged shooter on the right. So
I'm surprised.
The shooter then took the dog. It was a whole big thing about the dogs missing and all this stuff. They got the dogs back.
Wards.
Yeah. Well, they released that shooter, they released him from jail by mistake.
Oops.
James Howard Jackson, who's accused of shooting Ryan Fisher, who was walking Lady Gaga's dogs. That was on February 24th, 2021. He's been released from jail accidentally, so...
Did he look like another guy that should have been released?
That's
and
racist,
they just picked
Mike.
the wrong
You
guy?
can't say that. That's racist. Stop. All right. Now it's time
that's
again.
The only thing I can think of.
It's time again for my second favorite part of the show, if I can find it here. I almost speak too soon. Where is it? Holy
It's over there. Over there. No. Over there.
Yes,
over there.
Yes.
Right.
Here it is.
Buzz, look, an alien! Where?
Warning! Alien approaching! Warning! Biophysical experiments extremely dangerous to Earth people!
It's a pretty good robot. He's a little bit of an alien, too. But I think he's an alien robot. You could be an alien robot, right? Like, not all robots are domestic.
I computed the aliens. They are capable of sinister and dangerous acts.
You weird alien man!
All right, at least I remembered to turn the sound up on this one. I'm
wondering.
Proud of myself for that there. All right, the alien update. This is when we talk about the 7 or so people out of the 7 billion on the planet that are obviously influenced by aliens. If they're not aliens themselves, they don't have this much more power, this much more technical know-how, this much more money. It's just amazing. These people all have progressed our society and our culture to heights unknown in even recent years. We're talking about Musk, Bezos, Zuckerberg, people like that. Obviously, these people are all aliens and have alien interference, alien aid, alien something. Well, according to chimney.com, that's CHIMNII.com, we reported something wrong last week, Mike, and when we make a mistake here, we're going to come out and say it. I said that the Cybertruck was gone away. It's going bye-bye. I am very much mistaken, okay?
I was hoping.
Because there's Musk at that Gigafactory in Texas at the grand opening at the Cyber Rodeo, as he called it. There's the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is back. Now, I have a bunch of these pictures I'm going to show of the Cybertruck. Tesla, of course, staged the Cyber Rodeo event to commemorate the opening of the $1.1 billion factory. The event featured multiple art displays creating using hundreds of drones flying in formation. So you were right. That was drones that we showed in 105
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Yada, 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 yada. Here's a bunch of pictures of this truck, though. It looks pretty cool. All right. Looks no less boxy than what we saw before. There's the back end. There's the tail.
It looks a little different.
There's the
Still
inside.
dumb.
We've never seen the inside before. Does not look like it
Dumb
has a
and
steering
pretzel.
wheel. Does it? Looks like it has handles.
It looks like a pilot. What do they call that thing?
All right, so this is what the batteries look like. This is in another Tesla vehicle. And I'm going to show you a closer picture of that. Doesn't it look like the tops of a bunch of AA batteries all crammed together?
It does, but it's probably a little bit bigger than them. They're probably like the size of a can of soda.
Oh, yeah, easily. It looks like a couple hundred of them easily. There's
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
6.
I don't know. Probably 100 in a stack there. There's probably about 400 battery cells shown here in the picture.
Yeah, each like the bottom section there shows about 120. So
Yeah.
it's probably like 500 altogether.
But I had never imagined that that's what that looked like. I thought it looked different. And it just goes to show you the difference in what's going on now, because you see that's like this is like in the almost embedded in the chassis, like in between those bars on the sides of the chassis there. So you're actually sitting on these batteries. Used to be they were in a trunk. Used to be in the electric car, you couldn't fit nothing in the trunk because it was all batteries. It was, you could fit a purse or something in the trunk.
The chassis is now part of it.
Isn't this crazy, dude?
Which makes me wonder, didn't Samsung have a phone that would blow up all the time?
Ah, you're coming around to my way of thinking now. Yes. Yes. Picture taking your model that you just made, the DeLorean,
Back to the Future,
and sit it on top 500 AA batteries. You think that would power that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
well,
would think it would be sufficient.
I
we need you need 121 gigawatts in order to run the DeLorean.
Hey, this is a family show. The Giga Texas structure is the most advanced automobile factory the Earth has ever seen, Elon Musk noted. He noted that the company has also begun manufacturing 4680 batteries in-house at its Austin factory, which could eventually become one of the world's largest cell factories. Here's my problem with all this. Everything goes away. Yeah. After a certain time, things are obsolete or things are not useful. Take nuclear waste, for instance. It was a cost of doing business. Right. Now they've buried these barrels of nuclear waste who knows where. What's going to happen in 20 years with all these cars, with all these volatile batteries, with all these high-tech metals in them? Who knows what's going to happen?
Right. Yeah. And they're worried about styrofoam.
Yeah, or they're worried about straws. So now you get a paper straw and a plastic wrapper. I mean, what? Stop it already. Anyway, the raw materials are alarming to me that go in these batteries here, but I'll get to more of that in just a second. Because people are dying to go to sleep. That's why they buy this bed. Have you heard about this bed?
No.
These are wall beds. That's a bed that folds into the wall. They used to call them Murphy beds back in the day.
It's a Murphy bed.
Yeah.
Right.
Looks like a Murphy bed. It has like a cabinet. It's like the inset of a giant entertainment center with a shelving unit on the right and the left, and the bed pops out the middle there, okay? These are sold by Amazon. This particular model is sold by Amazon and Costco. They're all being recalled after a woman is crushed to death. There have been 60 There have been 60 reported incidents of the beds detaching from the wall and injuring customers.
Oh, wow.
Nearly 130,000 wall beds were made on the market about 8 years, are being recalled after one fell on a 79-year-old woman in 2018 and killed her. Why are we finding out about this now? This is dated today. This is according to Fox Business. This is crazy.
Okay.
Best Star, or B-Star, and the CPSC jointly announced the recall of 129,000 Best Star wall beds due to serious impact and crushing hazards. The wall beds can detach from the wall and fall onto those nearby, posing serious impact and crushing hazards.
Yeah, if it's not done according to directions, but who follows directions?
Well,
I'll
didn't
bet you those
IKEA...
bookcases.
Go ahead.
Those bookcases on either side of the bed, if for people at home who aren't watching, it looks like you have a 3-foot bookcase on either side of a queen size bed, and the queen size bed folds up and folds down. Now those bookcases are supposed to be bolted to the wall, I'm sure. And you get an average guy like you and me, Mike. What's the chances we're going to take the time to bolt the thing to the wall after we spent hours putting it together?
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, there's no time for that. All right, a Best Star Per Collection Queen Murphy Bed Kit, 115 inches, and it's very similar to the one that you were showing there online. You can get it in white, bark gray, chocolate, and it runs between $2,700 and $3,600. Let's see, they're still for sale, so they can't be that much of a recall. What's the recall?
Well,
the recall, they probably send you a bunch of bolts in the mail.
They're trying to track down all the
bolted.
people that bought them, because on Amazon and Costco they can track stuff via memberships, so they at least know who the people are. They say affected customers are urged to use a professional installer, so you hit that one on the head. I think IKEA a few years back had a problem with dressers falling on toddlers because kids were climbing up, so then they had to put out a latch. They had to send everybody these latches where you screwed it into the wall to hold on to the dresser. They're saying that the consumers are entitled to a free inspection to see if their wall beds need to be reinstalled, according to the recall. If that is the case, affected customers are urged to use a professional installer. Bester said it will reimburse customers for the cost, which is estimated to range between $170 and $207 for certain models, and between $338 and $414 for others. That sounds like more than the bed. It must be noted here that Amazon stock was down 2% today. Costco was down 1.3%. The recall includes the bed names The Nebula, Pure, P-U-R.
That's the one I'm looking at right here.
Versatile,
P-U-R.
Edge, Silo, Andrea, Lumina, Orion, and Novello full and queen wall beds, according to the recall. So I don't know. If you have a wall bed or know somebody who does, maybe give them a ring. Go by their house. Make sure they're not trapped under that bed. Make sure they're still alive.
Yeah, so Amazon has them here, $2,746 to $3,451. And if you want the white one, you can get it between May 3rd, May 17th. If you want the gray one, April 26th to May 9th. And if you want the chocolate one, May 13th to June 6th. So much for 2-day shipping with Prime, huh?
Right. Well,
yeah. And IKEA actually has a service where you can get things professionally put together. And at one point, I actually thought about applying because, I guess you could do your own small business and be like an LLC and contract through IKEA to put these things together for people and make money doing it. But I didn't think there would be enough. It's all time. If it takes too much time, it's not worth the money.
Yeah. Well, this is Nissan's in the news. We talked about the batteries just a few minutes ago that Tesla has.
Yep.
Nissan says its batteries are a potential bomb.
And like I was just saying.
Exactly.
This is what batteries overheat.
This is what their new batteries are, and they're coming right out and saying this. The engineering guru leading Nissan's quest for solid-state batteries wants to disabuse people of the notion that the solid state is inherently safer than today's lithium-ion packs. The next generation solid-state batteries don't have a flammable liquid electrolyte, but they do cram a lot more energy that could make for some unpleasant fireworks if something goes haywire. So again, you could tell this sits on the bed in between the rails on the chassis there. Again, you're sitting on a bomb as you're riding down the road. But
It's right next to the gas tank too.
well, yeah, I mean, that's what you're doing anyway with a gas tank. I get it. You're riding on a bomb, but I don't think a gas tank covers the whole underneath of a car, basically. It's crazy.
Yeah. It takes up a lot of room, and the weight is probably, astronomical. I wonder if like, I know in New Jersey when you register a car, you register it and you pay by the weight of the car.
Yeah.
My Mustang being a lot less than my dad's Mercury Marquis.
Yeah,
my freaking Mustang was the trunk of the Marquis. That's how big that thing is, and he would pay like double what I would pay. But then again, my car was also 17 years old.
Well, the difference here in what we saw before, when they have the solid state battery pack, they're saying they can more or less double the range. They can get about 600 miles instead of 200 to 300 miles with these solid state batteries. That could be a game changer, but we'll have to see. The jury's still out, I guess.
Right. So lithium is out already?
Well, certain countries have all the lithium, so it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
We used to have the lithium.
Right.
Hell, we used to have uranium. We used to have a lot of things. All right, we talked about this last week. Sad situation involving the free fall ride.
Yes.
Where that
Icon Park on iDrive in Orlando, Florida.
This is according to Fox 13 News out of Tampa. The Orlando freefall expert says Florida law loophole on display of max weights on the ride. There's a loophole. So they're saying this needs to be closed temporarily. This kid, we showed him last week. I know it's sad. Tyrese Sampson, 14, died after falling off the Orlando freefall ride at Icon Park in Orlando on March 24th. An operating manual for the Orlando freefall states that the maximum passenger weight is just over 286 pounds. Sampson was 6'5" and reportedly weighed 360 pounds. That's a big teenager.
Okay.
It's a big 14-year-old.
Yes. Right.
The loophole in the Florida law prevented the operator of the ride from being required to display the weight requirement outside the ride. He said Florida law states that they can only enforce the posting of certain rider requirements and things like weight, height, health considerations if the manufacturer requires it or recommends it. The manufacturer's operating manual for the 430 feet Orlando freefall states that the height and several other limitations for the ride, such as large people, must be displayed on the ride, but maximum weight is not one of them. And that's the loophole of sorts. So they can't just say you can't be big. How big is big?
Right. It's a relative term.
It's crazy. I mean, here's a kid who was playing football and everything. Kid looks like an NFL player already. 6'5", 360.
Right. Unreal. Yeah, they say something to the effect that he was able to hold on until the ride started to stop. It free falls and then it puts on the brakes really quick. And then, what's that do? An object in motion wants to stay in motion. So he just kept going. That's when he fell out because he was holding on for dear life.
That's crazy. Again, I'm putting the brakes on the show. Sorry about that. I'll take that picture off right away here. Mike, you may recognize this company here.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. That would be American Airlines.
Ah, yes, American Airlines. They're very innovative. They're on the cutting edge. They are doing things and making things happen leaps and bounds. As a matter of fact, they just came up with an idea to save everybody time and money. And save the climate at the same time, because that's important. Because we're all going to die in 12 years. The Earth's going to end because of climate change, right? American Airlines offers bus as flight connections in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Isn't that cutting edge?
Okay.
This is what they're doing. You pay for the flight, and then they put you on a bus.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Oh, and not even a cool bus.
No, it's a regular bus. It's a Prevost bus. Probably seats about 60 people, 40 people, whatever. It's got American Airlines. How can they do this?
I like the way it says American on the side, not American Airlines. It says American.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to change that because that's going to offend somebody that they used the word American. The big picture,
American
airlines
bus
are
line.
facing pilot shortages and soaring prices for jet fuel, compounding logistical and economic challenges that have seen the industry cut many flights from pre-pandemic schedules. Only around 80% of flights offered in 2019 were still operating in 2021, Washington Post reported, so that must be true. I just find this whole thing fascinating that I'm in New Jersey or Pennsylvania and they expect me to pay for like a flight, but they're going to put me on a bus. The landline's going to provide 50 to 70 mile rides to and from airports in Allentown, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, and Atlantic City, New Jersey. Ah, there we go. There's the tie-in. Atlantic City.
Well, Atlantic City, believe it or not, actually has an international airport. And it's also one of the training centers for air traffic controllers, in case you ever